Hey everyone, it's John Heath here again for Milton Rose Learning with another Let's Learn video on how to ace a death of a salesman. So we've got a really good writing sesh for you today for anything death of a salesman kind of linked when you're writing. So we're going to look at unpacking essay questions because a lot of students don't bother, and I think that's one of the first cardinal sins. Then we're going to look at how your teacher will mark your death of a salesman exams and kind of essays. And then we'll round off with a nice little bit of model writing and how to hit the assessment objectives when you're writing. So it should be a great one today. So let's dive in. So first off then, we've got what we would call unpacking essay questions. Now, I've probably said this a million times, but students do love to dive in. They're always in a rush, okay? And I never understand that. When you're in an exam for Death of a Salesman, you're there. Your grades will decide what university you go to and ultimately career choices. So this is a big deal. So when we look at a kind of question, we don't want to dive in. We want to break it down conceptually and break apart the keywords and phrases. So let's do that first. So we've set up a nice question for you. So it says, in Death of a Salesman, Miller shows that clinging to illusions destroys the individual. To what extent do you agree with this view? Okay, quite deep. There's a lot to consider here. So let's think about three of the best parts of this question to break down. Now, the first concept in the question, because we're breaking it down, what I always say is conceptually, is it says illusions. So this is a theme. We're focusing on the theme of illusions. So Miller uses dramatic characterization, irony, and dreamscapes to explore the illusory nature of the American dream in post-war America. Now, the American dream, I'm sure you know, is the idea that if you can rock up in America, and if you work really hard, and if you kind of, play by the rules, you can become rich, you can become a millionaire, and you can have all the freedom that you ever dreamed of. Okay, that's the American dream. But ultimately, by using that word illusion, it seems to be deconstructing the American dream and critiquing the idea that it might actually be a lie. Okay, so I think that's quite interesting. Then destroys the individual. Okay, destroys the individual. Let's think about that. Now, we're talking there, it's a very powerful phrase, isn't it? So consider the effects of the illusions on characters such as Willy Loman, such as it kind of destroys his mental well-being, doesn't it? And destroys his life eventually. The illusions of prosperity leading to his psychological delusions and nervous breakdowns. So we know when it says destroys the individual, I think we understand how it destroys the individual by thinking that through. Very, very important that we do. And then, to what extent do you agree? So it's a classic kind of extent question. So there you must give and evaluate. You must weigh both sides of the argument there. It's almost telling you the essay structure to use. Be sure to look at things from both perspectives. Don't just look at one side of that view. Give me the other side as well, and you won't be far wrong. Okay. So just briefly there, you can see we only did it for a minute or two, but we've got a tighter grip on that question now by breaking down the key concepts. So don't forget to do that. Okay. It's the first thing you want to do with any essay question for Death of a Salesman. Okay. Then the second thing we'll just look at is students always ask me, they always say, well, how's my work marked? Or my teacher doesn't like me and they give me a low mark. It's not like that. A teacher will have, they'll have a mark scheme, and you can ask for the mark scheme. Just say, could you print it off and give it to me? And they will. And basically you'll have assessment objectives, targets that your Death of a Salesman essay needs to hit. And they change every few years, and they're different on exam boards, but they generally come down to these four things. So let's just look at what the targets are. So the first one for Death of a Salesman, they'll look at your academic expression, definitely. So write clearly, write formally, no slang, subject-specific terminology, so stage directions, symbolism, juxtaposition, dramatic foil, those kinds of posh terms which should be used. And please do keep an eye on your spelling, punctuation and grammar, because all of that comes under academic expression. It has to sound posh and formal because you're writing a lit essay, so it's got to sound like that. Then number 2 is what I would call detailed analysis. So with that, you must zoom in on quotations, word level analysis, phrase level analysis, connotations, always very useful. Make sure you're zooming in on the language, okay? Explore the writer's methods for this assessment objective. Look at the emotional impact on the audience. And as we learnt earlier on, there's different audiences. The post-war audience is very different in their emotional reaction to a modern day audience. So tease that out as well, and you'll always get more marks for detailed analysis. The third assessment objective in my mind is looking at the big ideas and themes in the play. So go beyond the plot. Don't just talk about Willy Loman like he's a real person. He doesn't exist. He's just what we would call a dramatic construct. He is a made-up character which enables Arthur Miller to explore the big ideas and themes, such as the American dream and its nature, and the nature of post-war American society. So please do try and link the plot events to the big ideas and themes which Miller is trying to explore. Okay. Then the last one is relevant context. Now, context is the history and the social stuff that was happening when Arthur Miller was writing, and you do need to know it. And then the only thing I would just say though is don't just throw in context and expect to get magic marks. You won't. Okay, you've got to put the context in and then link it to the play. So an example of this is, look at what I wrote on the board. During the US post-war era, society was changing radically, with the American dream of prosperity cultivated as a possibility for all. So I've kind of linked it to the play a little bit implicitly, but now what I would do then is I would then add on another line or so, linking it to Willy Loman's life, because he had to deal with these societal changes and he was entranced by the American dream, wasn't he? He kind of believed that the American dream was everything. So I'd link it to Willy Loman then. Okay, so you put the context in and then link it to the play. Very, very important. Okay. So those are the 4 ways, or the broad ways, in which your teacher will mark your Death of a Salesman kind of essay. So let's just look then at a nice piece of model writing. So we'll look at one really nice paragraph and then we'll break apart how it hits the different assessment objectives. So apologies for my dulcet Birmingham tone, but I will do my best. Just listen out and we'll just have a look at how this sounds. Willy Loman is the clearest example of how clinging to illusion leads to destruction. He defines success not by personal happiness or integrity, but by being well liked and financially impressive. His belief that charisma alone brings success is outdated and false, but he cannot let it go. As his career declines, he remains convinced that he is vital in New England, despite mounting evidence to the contrary. This delusion isolates him from reality and from his family. Miller uses the recurring motif of seeds, nothing's planted, I don't have a thing in the ground, to symbolise Willy's growing realisation that his life has yielded no lasting legacy. It's a real tragedy. His suicide is tragically framed as one final desperate attempt to make his life meaningful by providing insurance money, a final act of self-destruction born from illusion. Beautifully written. Very, very nice. If that was in my class, I'd be like giving him a high five. I'd say, yep, that's pretty good. So let's look at how it hits the assessment objectives, just briefly. So AO1, academic expression, it's clear and formal style throughout. So look at some of the phrasing. Clinging to illusion leads to destruction, quite a nice expression. It uses subject terminology as well, so motif, symbolise, and nice language such as delusion. So it sounds very impressive. They've got a good vocabulary. AO2, analysis of language and structure. There's a strong engagement with Miller's craft. Miller was a great playwright, and it highlights the motif of seeds as symbolic. I really like that part as well. Use of direct quotations, vital in New England, nothing's planted, quite precise and zooming in on phrase level analysis. And it's also exploring character psychology and the symbolism of the staging, which I thought, yeah, it's quite implied, but it's enough to do that quite well. Number 3, ideas and key themes. It explores the central theme of illusion versus reality, because the American dream is just false in this play. It just doesn't exist. And it connects Willie's obsession with success to his own tragic downfall, his hamartia. So it's linking it to kind of tragic themes and the big ideas, which I quite like. I think it does that quite well. And context then, just the history and social stuff, it implicitly, it doesn't explicitly, does it implicitly, ties Willie's illusion to the wider American dream values. And I think it does that quite well. And it also implicitly links it to post-war consumerism and the fragility of middle-class identity. I think it does it quite well. It does it in an implicit way, but sometimes that's enough. Okay, you don't have to be explicit at every point, because if you were, it would be a very strange sounding essay. It would sound like it's been written by AI or just some kind of weird robot. So sometimes implicit context is actually enough, as long as it's being done. So hopefully you've enjoyed that little writing sesh on this play. And what I would say is just remember what we've done. Break down the keywords of the question. Think conceptually before you start writing. Ask your teacher for the mark scheme and think about how your work is going to be marked. Don't write your work blind, okay? So always try and hit that mark scheme and you'll be in a much better place. And then if you want to be kind of a bit full on with it, I get my own classes that actually color code their work, where they're actually hitting the assessment objectives. You should always be thinking about the assessment objectives, and your teacher, as I've said, they will give you that mark scheme if you ask for it nicely. So don't forget to hit the like, subscribe and tap the bell icon as well to never miss another Let's Learn video again. Please do. Any comments, just pop them in and we'll always reply on YouTube, of course. And it just remains to say, hopefully you've enjoyed yourself. Thanks for listening as always. Take care. We'll see you soon.